V3 is generally dedicated to color, so we can ignore it and move on to V4. V4 is for even more complex visual processing, and in our case, that means identifying the basic shapes that make up a number. This requires a little bit of creativity on my end, but I narrowed it down to 8 essential shapes for our numbers. 7 of them look like C's either in the top or bottom half and rotated to some degree, with the final one being a column, which is just 2 columns stacked on top of each other, or a long column. These will serve as our basic building blocks for our number. Finally, V5 and V6 deal with things more complex than we actually need, and we can move on to our final section of the brain visual processing unit. That's a mouthful. The IT, or inferior temporal cortex. The IT is like the brain of the brain, and it pretty much looks at the shapes we found in V4 and decides, hey, that makes up an 8, or hey, that's a 5, or that's a 4. The way it knows this is actually pretty cool, and it relates to how you were taught about numbers as a child. If you were taught that an 8 looks like this, the next time your V4 neurons fire indicating the correct shapes for that pattern, IT will identify that's indeed an 8. Same thing for a 5. Implementing this in Minecraft was the most complex area to plan out, and while the end result could be much nicer, it does work and is somewhat intuitive, but I won't go into the logistics.